If you missed the recent Solana token airdrops where people earn over $10,000 on Pies or over $15,000 on Jitter, you're in the right place. Because in today's video I'm going to talk about projects within the Solana ecosystem that in my opinion could replicate the success of Pies and Jitter, becoming a hub for highly profitable token distribution in early 2024. And right now is the perfect time to start focusing on these distributions. For many, these Solana tokens distribution like Jitter, Jupiter and Pies have been game changers, especially if you live in a third world country where $15,000 or $20,000 could change your entire life. And even if you're in a first world country, who wouldn't want to get free $15,000 like many Jitter recipients did? I don't believe the token distribution season in the Solana ecosystem has ended. In fact, I believe it's just getting started. Yes, this distribution have been amazing. But there are over 10 Solana tokens distribution that you can still qualify for, and I think they too could bring substantial rewards for those savvy enough to participate in them. In today's video, I'll delve into 8 Solana tokens distribution that I'm focused on. I'll give you my precise strategy for qualifying for each of these distributions. I'll also show you an individual strategy I've developed so you can qualify for multiple distribution at once. This might be a more convenient approach to participating in distribution farming as opposed to engaging in 10 separate ones. Additionally, I'll guide you on how to start from scratch because I know distribution farming can be overwhelming for beginners. I'll demonstrate an approach for beginners if you feel overwhelmed by information and are just looking for a starting point. The main aim of today's video is to focus on projects within the Solana ecosystem that are worth actively engaging with. As such, I've prepared a step-by-step guide for you to earn $5,000 or $10,000 in the near future. Before we dive into all the information, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to do so. It would mean a lot of me if you hit the subscribe button if you find this content valuable. And of course, don't forget to click on the notification bell icon below to receive alerts when I upload new videos. I put in a lot of effort research and create these videos because I genuinely want to help change your life. Guys, I've created my Discord channel where I share comprehensive step-by-step guides on projects that are worth getting involved in right now. It will include all the projects where participation is necessary and where there is change to receive good airdrops and make 10x on your investments. So, I strongly recommend joining if you want to understand everything. And now, let's move on to projects within the Solana ecosystem. The first airdrop is called MarginFi. It's the largest money market on the Solana blockchain. This money market is an application that allows borrowing and lending across various assets. There are diverse lending opportunities available here, including Jitter Sol, Solana, USDC, USDT and others. Additionally, there is a staking portal allowing for Solana coin staking. Recently, MarginFi launched a loyalty program similar to what we saw with Jitter, which is likely to be considered in the token distribution. When a protocol introduces an official loyalty program, it's a good sign that these loyalty points might count during token distribution. You can earn MarginFi points by providing loans, taking loans, and bringing in other users onto the platform. After the completion of the first 3 airdrops, I'll share you a strategy for MarginFi that I personally use, combining the subsequent 2 airdrops. Let's quickly look into the next 2 airdrops to make this clearer. The second airdrop is called Drift Protocol. It's one of the projects I am looking at the most optimism in this video because in my opinion it's one of the most progressive DEX solutions in the crypto industry, especially on the Solana blockchain. Drift is a DEX with a unique order book, offering deep liquidity and excellent performance. If you've traded on this platform, you know it's a fantastic exchange with a wide range of market perpetual contracts. Moreover, there are strong expectations that they will have their own token, which makes sense considering the level of support and interest they have garnered. Participating in the token distribution is relatively straightforward as the primary criterion is likely to involve accumulating trading volume on the exchange. You will simply need to connect your wallet to Drift, deposit a certain amount of USDC, and start trading on the platform. Additionally, you can provide liquidity as a DLP. Navigate through the Earn section, then select DLP and provide liquidity for various pools. This could also be an important factor since, apart from accumulating trading volume, the total locked value on the platform over a certain period is likely to be considered. This is what I'm currently doing on the Drift protocol. However, the main focus of course is accumulating trading volume. Let's talk about the third airdrop and they'll introduce you to a versatile strategy related to it. Another project I am pretty optimistic about in the Solana ecosystem is Camino Finance. Camino Finance is an automated market-making solution that works with concentrated liquidity. They offer lending and deposit opportunities across various markets. What's more, they have a compounding feature allowing you to increase your SOL earnings by up to 10% with just one click. Additionally, the platform has long and short position strategies, which are a part of margin trading, enabling you to trade marginally across different Solana assets. To be eligible for the Camino airdrop, it will probably involve the implementation of a points accumulation program. It was mentioned at the latest AMA event that this program's implementation is planned for the upcoming week. As of recording this video, the specifics of the points accumulation program haven't been disclosed, but it's expected that rewards will be given to users providing assets in the form of loans and deposit on the platform and using the two functions mentioned earlier: the compounding feature and the long and short position strategies. Although the points accumulation system hasn't been officially announced yet, it may become clearer soon. Based on the platform's proposals, we can anticipate the primary conditions. And I think you don't necessarily have to wait for the points accumulation system to begin participating. In fact, the earlier you join these airdrops, the better, especially considering their increasing popularity. As I mentioned earlier, there is some pressure on airdrops in the Solana ecosystem as many of these tokens are speeding up these releases, intensifying competition. So it definitely makes sense to start taking action as soon as possible. Sure, let's discuss the strategy that combines Airdrop 1, Airdrop 2 and Airdrop 3. So that's MarginFi, Drift Protocol and Camino to qualify for all three at once. Of course you can follow individual steps as I just described. Or you can be a bit creative and use a personalized strategy that allows you to qualify for all of them together. It is a bit complex, but once I explain, I hope you'll understand the gist of what we are trying to achieve here. So there are 4 strategies. The first strategy is for Drift, MarginFi and Camino. The second strategy is for Camino and Drift. The third strategy is for Camino and MarginFi. And the fourth strategy is for MarginFi and Camino. The reason there are 4 strategies here is simply to protect against the possibility that one protocol might not conduct an excellent airdrop or might cancel its airdrop. It's always helpful, I think, to have insurance. And if I choose one specific strategy tied to one protocol and they ultimately didn't do an airdrop, that would be really unpleasant, right? So I decided that the best thing to do is to develop a strategy that provides insurance across all these ecosystems. And if they all have fantastic airdrops, then of course you might end up getting double rewards because you've interacted with multiple projects. Strategies 1, 2 and 3 rather than using Marinate Finance to acquire MSOL, which is a staked Solana derivative for Solana staking. So the first step is to go into Marinate Finance to get MSOL, which is a staked Solana derivative for Solana staking. The first step, go into Marinate, deposit your Solana into their liquid staking vault, you'll earn AP on your Solana, and you'll also get MSOL. Once you have MSOL, you can enter the Drift protocol and lend your MSOL on Drift. After lending it, you can go to the borrowing section and borrow it back on Drift. This essentially allows you to increase the lending and borrowing volume. Then you can do the same on MarginFi. So essentially you are lending BSOL and borrowing BSOL, the same as on a Drift, but with BSOL instead of MSOL. Then you can take your MSOL and put it into LP on Camino. If you go to Camino and access the liquidity section, you'll see there is LP, for example BSOL and SOL. You swap your SOL and BSOL to mint it and generate income. Strategy number 2 is essentially the same. First you stake your SOL for MSOL, then deposit it into Camino, and then borrow BSOL on Camino. Instead of lending and borrowing on MarginFi, you do the same on Drift instead of MarginFi. So the strategies aren't actually that complicated. You're simply replacing Drift with MarginFi in the second strategy compared to the first. And in the first strategy you don't use Marinate. You simply provide USDC on MarginFi, borrow USD on MarginFi, take that and lend it on Camino, borrow USDC on Camino, and then put it into another LP on Camino. If you are a bit confused, you can join my Discord channel where I've detailed a guide about projects in the Solana ecosystem. Of course you can execute these airdrops separately. There is nothing wrong with that. Especially since sometimes you'll notice that some pools fill up and there is no liquidity, which sometimes requires a bit of improvisation to skip one step and complete another step to qualify. But the primary aim of executing the strategies essentially lies in accumulating the requirements I mentioned on MarginFi, Drift and Camino. All you need to do is fulfill the requirements I mentioned on MarginFi, Drift and Camino. You just need to meet the requirements for each of these 3 corresponding protocols. If you can combine them for more efficient execution, that's obviously a win-win. But ultimately, your main goal is maximum interaction with these 3 protocols to receive the airdrop. Airdrop number 4, Zeta Markets. This is a project with a relative small volume compared to many other popular Solana protocols. It was previously an options market and has now transformed into a platform for trading perpetual contracts. As you can see, it resembles an app like Drift protocol. It enables trading using an official point system. I prefer airdrops with an official point system because they offer clear criteria you can fulfill to receive the airdrop. Their point system is quite straightforward. Your Z score increases by 1 for every $1 in taker volume. This means you need to make trades on the exchange. The way to accumulate taker volume is to open more trades, essentially amazing trading volume. Here's what you need to do. Just like on the Drift protocol, deposit USDC, make several trades on the exchange. You can perform wash trades. Yes, you might lose a bit on fees, but if you actually close 2 positions, you'll obviously lose on fees but can amass a decent volume. So you can approach it with the idea of wash trades, or when you want to open a trade, instead of using a centralized exchange. Just do some trading on Zeta markets and Drift protocol instead of opening it on another exchange. That's one way to go about it. It depends on whether you want to pursue wash trading or simply replace using some of these networks in your regular trading routine. It's also an easy way for people to do it. Airdrop number 5, Tensor. Tensor is the largest NFT market on Solana. Many of the biggest NFTs such as MedLabs have been launched on Tensor, and it's also one of the projects with relatively simple requirements. They have an official point system that's quite similar to the point system Blur had when they conducted their successful airdrop. Essentially, you accumulate points by minting NFTs from the top 100 collection and placing bets on the top Solana NFTs. Recently, the Solana NFT market has surpassed Ethereum in volume again, so the market is evidently thriving here. Airdrop number 6, Phantom. This is the largest wallet in the Solana ecosystem. It's one of the best wallets in the crypto industry in terms of user interface. Essentially, to qualify for the airdrop here, you just need to use the wallet organically, as you normally would. You can also do extra things like swapping within the wallet itself, unlike using a DEX, and unlock a collectible NFT called Drip Phantom, which is pretty easy to do. I think most of you who have played on Solana have already used this wallet. If you haven't done so yet, when participating in many of these airdrops you will need a Solana wallet. You can choose the Phantom wallet and in a way kill two birds with one stone because you'll be going for other airdrops, but you'll also be using the Phantom wallet is doing so. Obviously, you'll be accumulating volume in this wallet by making transactions within the wallet, storing funds in the wallet, and maybe making a couple of exchanges within the wallet. It doesn't offer permanent swap but offers regular swaps, let's say if you want to switch to Solana to a stablecoin and vice versa. Airdrop number 7, Parkle. When I stumbled upon this protocol, I saw it was very cool. It basically allows you to bet on real estate in some of largest cities in the world. So you can bet on the rise of Miami Beach, Los Angeles, London, Portland. You can also bet on price drops in other cities like Boston, Denver, Chicago, Atlanta. So essentially you can bet on real estate market, pretty cool. Essentially what you're doing is connecting your wallet and can place bets on the rise or fall of prices in different cities. Essentially this is a way to qualify for the airdrop. They don't have a token but most likely they'll have one in the future. And opening long and short position in the different areas as you can see. I can open a long position in Miami Beach or a short position in Miami Beach. This is one way to start accumulating volume. Another way is to deposit USDC into their currency vaults. So if you click at the top and go to the liquidity provision section, as you can see, they take liquidity in USDC to offer this market on the platform. So here are two things you can do. Provide liquidity and open a few trades. Look, it's quite risky when you're betting on cities, especially where there is oracle risk, as the platform uses price data. So I wouldn't advise just opening trades thinking you have a significant advantage in the trade itself. I would rather do it with funds that I could afford to lose, bearing in mind that you might not have a significant advantage here. And you could even open a short position in one city and a long in another. And yes, you'll be paying fees. As you can see, there is funding rate applied to these trades. So it's not entirely a free lunch. But providing liquidity is another way for you to get a somewhat less risky way of qualifying for the airdrop here. Airdrop number 8. Phoenix. It's an exchange with an online order book, similar to Drift, similar to Zeta markets. You can simply focus on increasing your trading volume. I don't need to go into detail about this, but it's another decentralized exchange without an official token. Now let me tell you how to get started. We've covered a lot of topics and the video turned out quite lengthy. You might be overwhelmed, but there is no reason to be overly concerned because I have a very simple way to handle this task. The first thing I will do is watch this video. I've suggested 8 airdrops to you, and I will determine which ones you want to focus on. Don't forget, in my Discord channel you can find a step-by-step guide to all the Solana ecosystem projects, where everything is described in more detail. So be sure to follow the link below and join the group. If you are a novice airdrop farmer, you might choose 2 or 3 from today's video to focus on. If you are an intermediate airdrop farmer, you might choose 5 or 6. And if you are very experienced and ready to spend a lot of time, you can choose 10 or more. The problem is to participate in all 10 airdrops you'll need a lot of liquidity. If you only have $100 or $200, it might be wiser to choose just 2 or 3 of these airdrops, so as not to dilute your liquidity. Which airdrops from today's video would I start with if I had only a few $100? I probably, and this is just my opinion, will choose Kamina because I really like what Kamina is doing, and their scoring system is launching soon, so I believe you could get an early advantage there. Then I go for the Drift protocol because I think the protocol is simply amazing, and increasing trading volumes there is quite easy. And I also like using the MarginFi exchange because the strategy is linked to both Kamino and Drift, and you can solve 2 tasks simultaneously. It surprises me why people tend to complicate the airdrop farming process and find it very challenging. You just need to create an Excel or Google spreadsheet, right? Go to your Google Sheets. Create a tab for each of the airdrops. You can also do this in one tab and use columns, but I prefer creating separate tabs for each protocol. Create a tab for each protocol. For example, MarginFi, Drift, Camino, maybe you're also working with Line, zkSync, Layer 0, Starknet. You might have 7 tabs at the bottom of your main Excel for airdrops. Under each protocol, make a checklist of steps. Simply follow my guides, write them down. Land assets on MarginFi. Be more specific. For example, if you have USDC, say lend 100 USDC on MarginFi. And the same process for Camino. Put $100 in the pool. So create an Excel spreadsheet and describe the steps for each protocol in detail. Then you need to allocate time. And then just maintain activity on each account every month. You don't need to do it all day long. You've set up the account and then just do various activities every month until the airdrops comes out. It won't take up too much of your time. If you want to create a large number of accounts for each project and significantly increase your returns from airdrops investments, you can check out my latest video where I detailed how to create a large number of accounts using multi-accounting and avoid being blocked. It's actually not that complicated. However, it requires consistency. The only thing that confuses people, making them start and causes fluctuations, is the uncertainty in choosing airdrops. You don't need to do them all, right? In my Discord channel you can see the projects in which in my opinion it's worth participating. Here in the video I'm just talking about the projects, but in my Discord channel you can find detailed step-by-step instruction for each project. You can turn music, open multiple tabs in your browser, where there will be instruction, music and the project itself, and do the work with pleasure. A few more things to mention about airdrops farming. You're not spending your money. You are not throwing money away. Say you have $100 and you are depositing it in the vault to increase volume. That doesn't mean you are burning those $100. They are still yours. But what you are doing is spending a bit on gas fees on Solana. Less than $1 for gas fees. On Ethereum it could be higher. If you want serious results, as in any other area of life, you have to take this seriously. Guys, I'll remind you again that all useful links and guides for all projects I am participating in are in my Discord channel. So I strongly recommend joining my Discord channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to not miss the videos that could improve your life. Wishing everyone huge profits. Goodbye for now.